This seems to be, thanks to rapid mining, a hot topic right now. So LTC had their convention, or Litecoin had their convention and things like that. Script miners and talking about whatever they talk about over, I don't know. It's conventions for me. It seems just like a huge waste of time other than networking. So what do you think about the Lokotech Hashblades script miners? So my first thought is, the last time a Hashblade was presented to the audience of script miners, not script miners, just miners in general, trying to compete with ASICs. It failed miserably. I can't remember the actual coin that they were trying to get on. It could have been Bitcoin, but I'm not 100%. But I know that still Hashblades are not, they're not mainstream. Sorry. This looks, I watched the presentation. We've signed up for the pre-sale. So we're trying to figure out how we could fit in the fold with how these launch, if they launch. And that's really the question, right? So in my eyes, the way the guy described this, using 12 nanometer chips, the L7s, for reference, they use 9 nanometers, if I'm not wrong, or correct, 7 or 9, right?
So the current ASICs are using 7.
7, yeah.
And then they were boasting 12 nanometers. So
okay, so obviously I'm just pulling this off of memory, but just from when I watched the video, or his presentation, I should say. You're trying to put 9 gigahash. I mean, obviously you can do lower at better efficiencies, which I think that's really where it's going to be. It's going to make its money. But you can get up to 9, I think even 14 at some point with multiple or something along those lines.
that's crazy.
In the size of a graphics card, and then putting it into a machine, it literally is like an FPGA. And we already know, talking about FPGAs with Caspa and things like that, FPGAs are not mainstream. There are some developers that will, you get a bit stream, and then you hook up your FPGA and start mining, things like that. There's dev fees involved. And in this case, this dev fee seems high in comparison to others that we've seen with bit streams. Now, obviously, there's ways around that. Everybody knows that there's some kind of sketchy way you can get around a dev fee, because it's been done, especially on like current, big firmwares that are out there right now.
And private firmwares too.
Yeah, exactly. So my thought on it is, if it launches and it's successful, it's going to really hinder what's currently out there. But at the same time, in having a conversation with someone else at one point, it's like, if this was a legit thing coming out, one, why isn't Bitmain doing it? Like, if this company can get access to those chips, so can Bitmain. So I would assume that Bitmain would get basically.
Yeah, they looked over for some reason. Why did they look past it?
Yeah. And then secondly, if this is legit and it's going to be competing with Bitmain's flagship for the time being of script miners, which is the L7, why is Bitmain not buying them out? Now, I'm not saying that they're not for sale, but everything is for sale for a price. So it's I'm just skeptical in reality. You come up on stage, you talk about what you're doing, but he didn't show a product. He showed what like the hell are they called? Something point.
A PowerPoint?
Yeah, PowerPoint presentation. There we go. I can't even think right now. He showed a PowerPoint presentation. So it's, yeah, that's my thought. That's my 2 cents. What about you, John?
It's tough. I mean, to be the small guy, to be a small company, Lokotech isn't a small company. they're a growing company, right? But to throw your hat in the ring when it comes to ASICs, um, you know, we know from doing our own digging and our own research that a lot of the ASICs that are out there, whether it be Gold Shell, um, Black Miner's new machine, the L1, or Ant Miners, they all come out of the same proximity of each other within the same block. Uh, so they all know what the other person, the other company is doing, and they're working well together to a certain point. Now we're going to throw this guy into the loop. I'm curious. I want to see it come out. I want to see it succeed. It'd be interesting to have another avenue to go down, other than ASICs, like you said, they're more FGPA kind of setups. Um, I'd love to be able to play with it, tune it, and take it apart. Just to don't know if they're going to be as efficient as this guy says they're going to be, especially because they're using larger chips. Um, but Bitmain could also not be worried about it, because from our other talkings that we've had with people who shall not be named at this time, we know that there's private firmwares out there that are only being deployed at large farms, and I'm talking multi-megawatt farms that these guys are going out, and it's $90 a machine, and it's not a firmware that you can download online and up. No, they have to come out and program these firmwares into each and every machine for $90 a pop across 120 machines for 1 megawatt, right? So it's not cheap when you're talking about larger scales. It's cheap when it comes down to one individual unit, sure. But these guys aren't wasting their time flying out to, Joe Schmo's garage to tune his L7. They're going out to the big farms. So either Bitmain knows that that kind of stuff is going on, and they're just letting it ride because they know that their stuff can be overclocked using this private proprietary firmware, and it's no sweat off their back, and they're going to let this guy kind of do whatever he wants. Who knows? It's 2023 is going to be an interesting year for cryptocurrency, not just because of the bear market that we've seen and all the other stuff that's been going on, but because we're in that realm. 2023 is the year where technology, if we're looking at Moore's law, 2023 is when things are supposed to be really changing. And if you're looking at that whole expanded time frame using Moore's law, technology advances and doubles every couple of years. 2023 is one of those key years that we could see a lot of things double, or shrink in size rather. So it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of big players step up to be in the crypto mining space. So
Another thing to take in consideration too. So this company, say everything goes off without a hitch, and all of a sudden we have the most efficient script miner on the market to date, right? They're then taking money from Bitmain. And just to give an example of how cutthroat Bitmain is, okay, I just want to put this out here. Bitmain has a program where you can actually get certified to to fix their machines, right? So you can buy parts from, you get this certification, you can buy parts from them, and then at that point, you can get the wholesale price of these parts and fix machines, and you can tout I'm Bitmain certified. Like you get this little certificate from them, and it's amazing. And up until just recently, this certification could be obtained from literally only anybody that paid for the course through Bitmain. You could do it on Zoom. You can do all these, whatever. You can get trained by a guy here in the U.S. by the name of Austin Childress. He is one of probably the go-to guys for the big minds when it comes to Bitmain certification for teaching companies like Foundry, Riot, things like that. I'm probably going to smoke on a couple of those companies, but I'm pretty sure he has some influence within them for maintaining machines or getting certification of them. Well, he has an in to Bitmain because he's obviously certified, right? He also presented, and you can see this post on his Twitter channel if you want to go check it out, Crypto Miner CHR. Bitmain is going to discontinue AMTC for the general public. That's the certification. So literally, they're realizing that the little guys are starting to take money from them in fixing machines, because here in the States, we now have little guys saying, I'm Bitmain certified. Just give me your things. And they just buy wholesale parts from Bitmain. Bitmain's not making money off wholesale parts. They make money off the retail stuff. The L7, the S19s, that's where they make their money. So he says, if you want to sign up for trading, better do it now. If you want to get a certificate. And so he's not wrong. Like, this is how cutthroat Bitmain is. Like, they're getting rid of the certificate process. And according to Austin, which he's a more credible source than if we were to pull it, the only way to get something more credible at this point would be to get it directly from Bitmain, because he has a relationship with them. He basically says it's only going to be open to VIP clients going forward for Bitmain certificates. So what does that mean, right? That means the big guy. That means the guys that are paying for it. That means Marathon. That means Riot, that Foundry, things like that. They want more certified techs. They're going to be paying either Austin or Bitmain directly to train, right? The little guy's not going to get any more. That to show you how cutthroat Bitmain is. So if this script miner, right, starts to take money from them instead of developing another one, they're going to do something cutthroat. Let me rephrase that. While they're developing the next big script miner, they will do something cutthroat to make sure this doesn't see the light of day. That's my 2 cents, right? My opinion. I'm just some guy on the internet. I'm an idiot. I'm just saying what I'm seeing in a broader picture.
Yeah. And we're pulling this stuff up and we're looking at it because we have our own plans.
Yeah, exactly.
So this puts, this forces us to take a step back on opening up our own repair type of facility, doing a subsidiary off of Coastal Crypto. So this is a big deal. This is the right to repair kind of scenario where, larger companies have definitely fought the rights to keep their stuff in-house. We see a lot of right to repair stuff in the news as of late. I know that there's a couple states here locally on the East Coast to me that have been, gone to Supreme Court legislation for right to repair when it comes to, say, your iPhone or your Apple product or whatever it may be. So it'll be interesting to see if they can actually push it through. I mean, they're not based here in the U.S., so they don't have to follow our laws and regulations. But right to repair is a big topic, especially in like the maker space, and coastal in cryptocurrency itself is kind of, in my opinion, in that maker space. You're getting machines, you're tinkering with machines, you're tearing them apart, you're playing with firmware, you're playing with fans, you're trying different graphics cards and different ASIC chips, and or making an S10 out of an S9. You're in that space, so having the right to get parts and the right to repair is going to be very narrow, I think, moving forward in time.
Yeah.
So
I'm
a little worried.
Gandalf says, so you're saying they won't come to my basement? Yeah, probably not.
Do you have cookies?
Yeah.
So, but I want to be I try to be optimistic and then hope that where one door closes, another one will open, and someone will figure out another resource for us. And I say us, I mean everybody that likes to take their miners apart and work on them and overclock them and undervolt them. Something will happen. It'll force somebody's hand to step up to the plate and make something more accessible for the general public.
Yeah.
So.